Hey everybody, welcome back to another week of the FOGO Life. I'm your host as always, Captain Ron. Today, it's all about the MiniMax. Hey, we've done a bunch of Big Green Egg how-to videos, Big Green Egg 101, and we got a lot of questions from you guys. I noticed some of you watch for a second, third time. We have a whole entire playlist of them that we did, as a matter of fact. It's right here. If you want to check out the whole playlist, there's like, I don't know, maybe 100 videos, everything from A to Z about the Big Green Egg. But we get a lot of size-specific questions, because size matters. Anyway, the MiniMax is one that we get a lot of questions about because people think that the vent settings are different, everything, and they want to know how to do it. So today, we are going to cover everything from A to Z about the MiniMax. And I mean everything. So let's go ahead and get started with number one. So one of the first questions that we get asked a real lot about is cleaning out the MiniMax. It's the same as all the other eggs, really, okay? You have a couple different options. One is what's called an ash tool, all right? This one happens to be one that we sell. It's available on our website. There's a link for it down below. It's how you pull the ash out of the front of the egg. Now, the reason that we're going a little bit out of order is because this is already full of ash, so I want to show you how to be able to clean it out. So let's go ahead and open up the front vent and get started with the ash tool. Now, before we go ahead and actually get to cleaning it out, you got to make sure that you have all the ash down in the bottom. This is what's called a kick ash basket. It holds a charcoal. It's a charcoal basket. What you do is you take this and you shake it. And what it does is it gets all of the old ash, all the little tiny pieces, gets everything down into the actual egg itself. So we're going to take this now and scrape it right out the front. What you do here is this ash tool has a little hook shaped thing on it. You're going to put that inside the egg. And what you're going to do then is just go ahead and scrape forward and pull the ash right out the front. Don't use your wife or significant other's best china here. Use a paper plate or something like that. And you just go on and keep doing it, and you just pull it all right out the front, okay? It's one great way to do it. It's a nice, easy way. Let me show you the second way to actually clean out the rest of it. I'm going to cover something I probably shouldn't have to cover, but I'm going to anyway because some of you will do this. Trust me, you know who you are. When you're vacuuming out your egg, whatever size egg it is, make sure the coals are fully extinguished, okay? Vacuum it out before your next cook, not after your last cook. So when you get done cooking, don't go vacuuming this thing out. The last thing you want to do is suck hot coals into this thing. It will be bad. Trust me when I tell you, okay? So once it's all out, next time you go to cook, before you cook, take the stuff out and clean it out with this, okay? Next part too is that if you go to Home Depot, Ace Hardware, your big box stores like that, they're going to sell a special fitting for the cartridge, for the filter in here, that's made for ash. If you don't get that, there's a good chance you're going to suck it all in here and it's just going to blow all out there. You don't want to blow ash all over your patio, all over your backyard. It's a mess. So go to Ace Hardware, go to Home Depot, get yourself an ash fitting for the filter for your shop vac, okay? Now, we've got this part all vacuumed out, but you see these holes in the firebox here, okay? What's going to happen is that ash is going to fall through those too. So what you want to do is carefully, I repeat, take your ceramics out, and you can see here, all right, like here's where there was a hole, here's where there's a hole. There's some buildup there as well. All we need to do now, take our shop vac and clean the rest of that out as well. And now we have a cleaned out MiniMax. First of all, before we get to the second tip here, you're probably wondering what makes this guy, what makes Captain Ron qualified to be able to tell us about all this stuff? It's very simple, baby. The shirt says that I'm an eggspert, okay? So there, ha ha ha. Anyway, guys, I'm just kidding around. But you know what? Cooking in the MiniMax is the same as cooking in any of your other size Cubano cookers, the same as the XL, same as the large. You're going to do the same thing, it's just smaller. So I'm going to show you the different styles of setups and how to cook in here. The first one we're going to do is how to cook direct. So we're going to put our ceramics back in, all right? This is called the fireball. You see this notch in the front, this hole here? You want to make sure that that lines up with the vent right in the front, okay? Be very careful because they are made of ceramic. But when you put your fingers in the front here, it should go right through, okay? And you should be able to pass through because that's how your air is going to get in. So whether it's direct grilling, whether it's indirect, you want to have that in there. The next one is called the fire ring. Now, what I like to do is put it so that the notches for the convector are equally on either side so that we have one arm of the convector right in front underneath our thermometer, the other two are in the back, okay? Now, again, this is called a kick ash basket or a charcoal basket. It replaces the charcoal grate that's normally inside there. So we just set this in here, and that's what we can pour our charcoal into, okay? Now, if we were gonna grill direct, I would just go ahead and light it on top, but we're gonna cover all of that in a couple minutes here, but I wanted to show you the basic setup for how to cook in here, okay? The first one that I'm gonna show you is indirect. So let me go grab some charcoal and we'll show you what we're doing. These are our 2 charcoals that I recommend for the MiniMax. These are our all-natural briquettes, and this is our premium charcoal, okay? The reason being is size. Like I said before, size matters. We're working in a small area, so we want small charcoal. Let me open up these briquettes and let me show you why I'm talking about that these fit so well. But wait, Ron, you can't use briquettes in a Big Green Egg. I've read it everywhere. You know what? Normally you're right. First of all, that has to do with the ones that are like matchlight, that have chemicals built into them, that have lighter fluid built into them. These have none of that. Ours are all natural. They're made from coconut shells. It's made with all natural binders. There's nothing in there. There's no waxes. There's nothing like that hold them together. So they're all natural. The other one is our black. It's our lump charcoal, okay? But it's not the giant stuff like our super premium. It's going to be a lot better. And the reason being, we want to put as much charcoal into that small little charcoal basket that's in that MiniMax as possible, because you can do lots of cool things. You can smoke a pork butt on it. Tina Cannon and I did it for a video. Anyway, let me get some briquettes and show you. Now these are our briquettes. Now you could tell by the size, they're gonna fit a bunch of them in here. The nice part about our briquettes is because of the way that they're made and what they're made from, they're gonna provide a lot less ash than what a normal briquette is gonna give you, okay? So in this case, it is okay to use briquettes in a Big Green Egg, okay? You're not gonna have a problem with it in the MiniMax. So these make for a great option for it. Now our other charcoal that I recommend for the MiniMax is our black bag premium charcoal, okay? It's our medium-sized chunks. It's great. Now I use these in my large. You can use them in your extra large, but I also use them in MiniMax. You're gonna fit a lot into this charcoal basket as well. Again, same thing like I said. We have smoked on this. We have grilled on it. Any of these 2 charcoals are gonna be perfect for the MiniMax because you're able to put plenty of fuel inside of it without having to worry about running out during your cook. All right, so for our next step, let's go ahead and fill it up with some charcoal and show you how to light it. I think that's too much. Just a little too much. So what you want to do is when you fill this thing up, all right, take out any of the bigger chunks. That's just too big for in here, okay? That we have a good variety of sizes in here. But what I like to do is fill it up. See, like that's just too big for the MiniMax. Unless you're smoking, you can put that in there, but not really necessary. So take out the big ones, all right? If you want to go into the bag and pull out some smaller ones, that's fine, whatever you want to do. But what I like to do is fill it up just to the top of the firebox or maybe even the fire ring here. Because if I'm going indirect, I want that convector to be able to sit in here nice and flat, okay? It's pretty important. So there's a couple different ways to light it, whether you're going direct or whether you're going indirect. I'm going to grab a couple fire starters now and show you that. Now, if I was going to cook indirect, meaning low and slow, what I would do is I'd pull out a couple of these pieces in the center here, okay? Put a couple starters down in there and go ahead and light them. Okay, now for indirect, I'm going to light them right in the center like that. I'm going to try and get the charcoal as flat as I can because, like I said, I want to put that convector in there. All right, and that's how it's going to get started, just like that. I'm just going to put my convector in, right in those notches like that, okay? And I would put my grate on top of here to let it cook. That's if I'm doing indirect. I'm going to light one spot right in the center like that. Now, if I was going to go direct, the only difference that I would do is I would take these starters and I would put 2 or 3 of them kind of laid around in different spots, okay? And I have one here, one here. Let's light up another one, just like that, okay? And stick it over here, because what I want is I want to build, if I'm cooking direct, I want all of that surface area burning so that when I put the grate in, wherever I put my food on here, it's going to be cooking nice and evenly. Everything's going to be lit all around, okay? So that's your 2 ways to light it. If you're lighting it indirect, if you want to cook indirect, cook 1 or 2 right in the center. If you want to do direct grilling, lay 3 or 4 of them around the perimeter and light it like that, because this way this a whole top layer of charcoals will be lit. If we were going to cook indirect, we were going to smoke something, we're going to do it the same as all our other eggs, like I said. As I said, we'll put the convector in and simply put our grate on top of that, okay? Just like that. And just close her up and let her heat up. That's all we have to do for indirect. Direct, you know how to do that. It's just the grate. So it's kind of interesting because you can smoke, you can do direct. This MiniMax is my workhorse. I use this thing as much or more than any of my other eggs. It's amazing. If you don't have one, I highly recommend one because they're super convenient. You can take it with you. And, you know, it's just a great item to have because it's easy to use. Last thing I want to talk about is vent settings. It's going to be the same as on all your other eggs, okay? But let's go over them and show you exactly how I do it. Now, when I'm lighting it, I like to keep this wide open and keep the screen closed. Reason being is if I'm opening and closing this, you can see it shoots out here. I don't want hot sparks shooting out the front, okay? So this is a good safety item right here. But I'm leaving this vent open. Now, if I'm cooking direct and I want to build the heat, same thing. I'm leaving it just like this, I'm gonna keep this open, or I'm gonna keep the dome open like this, okay? But what I'm gonna do if I'm going indirect, same thing, all right? You just shut it down as if you would your other size eggs. So if I want 250, okay, there's a couple different ways of doing it. I'm gonna show you both ways. I'm gonna leave this open about a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch and leave my top wide open, all right? Reason being is that my family does not like overly smoky food. We like a kiss of smoke, a hint of smoke, if you will. It's an ingredient, just like salt, just like pepper. You don't want to over salt it, you don't want to over pepper it, you don't want to over smoke it. So by doing it this way, we're letting a limited amount of air in, but this top is wide open, so whatever air is coming in is having an easy time getting out, so the smoke is coming out of the top easily. The other way to do it is to open this one all the way, and then control your temperatures with the top vent. Just a little sliver, you know, for 250 or something like that. The problem with this, or the idea with this one for me, is that now we're letting a lot of air in, but we're only letting a small amount of air out, okay? So your food's sitting in there, and now all that air is building up in there trying to get out, and what's happening is that smoke is now sitting on your food. It could create a more acrid taste, a little bit more bitter taste, and the smoke is just sitting there. You've heard the term rolling smoke. For me, my opinion is that with this one open and this one partially closed, you're allowing the air to roll over and out. So you're rolling smoke, okay? That's what the whole idea of smoking foods is. So do it either way, okay? I know I'm in the minority the way that I do it like this, only open a tiny little bit at the bottom and a lot at the top. A lot of other people do it the other way. If you haven't tried it this way, give it a whirl. It might take you a little bit of getting used to, but for me, I found that it improved my cooking and my results tenfold over what it was before. All right, kids, that's everything I've got about the MiniMax here. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope it was informative for you. There's a lot of there's a lot of information I just gave you in a short amount of time. But go through it, watch it a couple times, and it all makes sense. Just remember, it's the same as your other eggs. Now, this may be a touch different for 250, or this may be, but it's the idea and the way that it works is all the same no matter what size egg you're using again. Okay? So if you want to know more about your Big Green Egg, there's, like I said, there's a playlist. You can catch it at the beginning. We had a link to it in the beginning, and it's got everything that you can need to know, A to Z, from what to cook first, to how to set it up, to even to how to purchase a Big Green Egg. So I love my MiniMax. I hope you have one. If you like a Big Green Egg and you like cooking and you want to know more, go ahead and give us a subscribe. Subscribe to the FOGO channel. Join us, okay, because we put out a lot of content on Big Green Eggs. The other part about it is give us a like, all right? If you find this informative, give us a like on the video and leave us a comment below. Tell us what your favorite size egg to cook on is. I want to know, all right? Because I love cooking on all of them, because I'm an expert. That's right. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. This is the Big Green Egg MiniMax. I hope that you've enjoyed this. Remember to get out and grill, and I'll see you the next time on the FOGO Life, all right? Captain Ron, out.